Hello everyone, welcome to Smart Suite Library V3 Reports. Reports is one of my favorite areas in Smart Suite because it is so powerful. There is just so much you can do and you don't need to contact anyone and you're not going to destroy anything. So we're going to show you today how to write a report, how to take an existing report and duplicate it and make your own reports out of it without affecting the existing reports in the system. So to be able to get to reports, you need to click on the menu button, go down to reports and then to reports. So we're going to deal in the first few minutes just on the fundamentals. That's it, so you understand what it's all about. Up here on the reports page, you should have two sections. Reports created by Functional Solutions International. These are all your stock standard reports. Okay? And at the bottom is reports created by you. Or if you've asked us to do a special report for you, they will appear on the bottom. And every time we do an upgrade, the reports will get added up here and you can take any of these reports. So let's have a look at one report. We'll go and look at the catalog reports. So when you click on catalog, there are all the different catalog reports. When you click on cost center, there's all the cost center reports, email logs, loan histories, patrons, but we're going to concentrate in our fundamentals about catalog reports. And catalog reports, copies by cost. Okay, so when I click on a report, I always have to go to the bottom and click on open, and that will open up my report. If there's any selection criteria, it'll come up over here. So it says cost larger than, and I've got a selection criteria. Let's go cost larger than $10. And then all you've got to do is hit the generate button. So when you go generate, that report is going to generate for you. Okay. If there's more than 1,000 or 2,000 items, it'll say there's just way too many. So you can email this report or you can generate it as a PDF. But if you want to see it on the screen, we'll show you 1,000 records at any one time. So just click on that. And sometimes you'll get the data in a template format, but really what you're interested is in the results format. So what do I look at if I print it? So when I click on results, that's how it'll look. Nicely formatted, alternated in colors so that you can follow each individual line and you can scroll up. Okay. Now, if you like that report, and this is the same for all the reports, so we're dealing with fundamentals, and I go, oh, Marianne from the accounts department wants a report on all the items that are over $10. So there we go, there's the report. You'll have an email button on the end. So click on the email button and specify to. So you'll put in Marianne at edu.au. So you'll put in her email address there, and then the subject will be Mary, here is the report you requested. And if you hit send now, guess what? She's gonna get that report. And it'll be nicely formatted in an email. And it'll be with do not reply. In other words, I don't want to hear from you. You asked for the data. There it is. That's it. But if you want her to be able to reply to you, you can put in your email address here and then go send now. And that report will then go to Marianne, and she might want to query something about that report. So when she hits reply, whatever email address you put in here will get back to you. However, by default, it says do not reply. So you don't get anything back. Now, the thing is, Marianne might say, you know this report you send me, I'd like you to send it to me every week, please. So if you have a report, whether it's an overdues report for all your homeroom teachers, and you like the homeroom report and you run it, you say, be nice if I could schedule it and just make sure that it's sent to all the homeroom teachers. So my selection criteria on the overdues will be all my overdues for this homeroom, and I want to send it to this particular teacher, but I want to schedule it. You'll just click on the schedule. So you'll go, I want to send it weekly at 7 a.m. in the morning. Okay, and it's because it's weekly, I can go schedule, and that will schedule that report to now go out automatically at that particular time. And the first date will be your starting date. So you choose, I want to really send it starting from the 31st. So every week on that particular day, that report's going to go out. Simple. Okay, so that's how we run a report and get it out there. But you might turn around and say, yeah, but I don't want it by cost center. I don't want it by cost greater than $10. So what's the options? Here are the options. So you just click on that and you go, oh, okay. So I want to make sure that I get all my locations. So I will choose a location. So I'll come down here and I'll go in here with my location equal to, click in here, and there's all the locations. So all my locations equal to the art department. So now if I run this report, it'll give me my copies by cost for the art department. You can go, aha, but I've got a plus sign here. So what can I do with this? I can add another selection criteria. So I can go and with the author equal to Haley. And then I can go and with my costs. So costs not equal to, I'll say all my costs larger than $100. And now I can go and run the report. So you can see I started off with a basic copies by cost report, and I've got all these selection criterias, and it doesn't matter what report you're running, you have the ability to change all of those selection criterias. Okay, and then you can go generate the report. You have the option to print it, or you have the option to export it. Okay, now you might turn around and say, yes, but I don't like this information. I want to add more information to this report, or copy number, really I'm not interested, or the barcode I'm not interested in, or I want to add something else. So that's why we have the configuration field. When you click on configuration, okay, the first thing it'll give you is to say, well, we don't want you to change the configuration of a stock standard report. We're going to go copies by cost and Mike's weekly request. So you can give that report any name you like. And now what can you do? You can put conditions onto it. So you can, so instead of having to enter these parameters all the time, you can go ahead and start adding this, because this is a tailored. Remember, we went to configuration. This is a tailored report. I can go to, oh, it's sorted it by alphabetically by title. No, I want to sort it. I want to sort it by author and in ascending sequence. And then within author, I want to sort it by title. So we'll just go down. So these are all the fields that you have to play with. So I can go title and descending Z to A. So I want to go that way. And you can keep going on. So that's the ordering field. And then you say, but it didn't have the fields of information I wanted. So you can click on the results data, and this will show you all the results, all the fields of information you can choose from. So when I go to results data, I've just got title, barcode copy, copy number, call number, location, sublocation, cost. What else can I add? So when you click the cost field, it'll give you accession number, because that's the number one field, alphabetical. I don't want accession. I actually want the renewal type. So I want to add renewal type on the report available. And then I want to add cost center. And then I want to add the loan date. So you can add as many fields that you want to be able to choose to appear on that report. So this is not the results of the report. This is all the fields you want to be able to choose from. When you go to the template, that's where you can now go ahead and add more fields to the report. Okay, so see how at the moment the report is in that order. You can say, all right, so if the report is in that order and I want to add another field, so all you do is you put the cursor in here and you go add, And what it will do is, you can see over here, it's gone copy number, and I go, no, I don't want copy number. I just added cost center, so I want cost center to appear here. Okay, and so that's how you will add all that information. Then you'll go save, and let's go back to my home screen. Okay, it says, do you want to go back to the save report list? And I go, yep. So it'll bring up my report. So there's all my reports. Well, where's that report gone? So any reports that you fiddle around and save and change appears at the bottom. These are the reports created by you. And remember, it was a catalog report I was playing, and it was cataloged by copies, by cost. That was the one. So now when I go to the bottom, if I go to catalog, and it'll go to copies by cost, Mike's weekly request. That's what I called it. So it appears here. Okay. And now when you click on that report and then go open, you can go ahead and run that report. So the bottom line is that two sections of reports. You've got all the reports created by Functional Solutions, where you can go in here, you can choose any report. So let's go to overdues. This is an area that a lot of people talk about all the time. Overdues by classification, and I'll go open. And it says with class grade equal to so-and-so, and with due date equal to this. And then I go here, and with not accession number, and with media type. Okay, so I want an overdue list by media type. So I'll come down here, and with media equal to or greater than or whatever, but I'll go media equal to book. So I'm only interested in the books. I'm not interested in the audio books or whatever. So that's my report. Okay, and now I can go generate. So overdues by classification, I've taken the original overdues by classification, and I've just brought them with due date equal to today. I could have changed that parameter. Okay, and I've done that, but I could go, ooh, I like that report. So I'm going to go to configuration, overdues by classification, and I have added media. That's what I'm going to call it. And now I'll go save. Okay, so now when I go back into my report screen, there's my report screen, and there's my overdues. Remember, we went to overdues, okay, and we ran that by classification or homeroom. Now I've gone and I've got overdues, and overdues by classification, I have added media. So when I click on that, guess what? And I go open. So there it is. All my parameters are there. That's how easy it is. And if you decide that, I really didn't want that report, so you'll just go to overdues by classification. You just click on the one you don't want, and then you just go delete, get rid of that. Okay, and start all over again. So when you go to overdues, you can see that's gone. So you can take any of our reports here, and you can tailor it any which way you like. You don't have to be a programmer. You don't even have to have ever gone to programming school. You don't need to know anything about programming. Just get in there, play around, you know, choose the criteria, add selection criterias. You cannot and you will not damage the system. So have a go and play around. Now, what we're going to deal with is, but I would like to do an overdue letter. How easy or difficult is it to do an overdue letter? In Smart Suite version 3, it's really, really easy. The only issue is you've got a lot more selection criteria. So if you just stay cool, don't worry about all the selection criteria, running an overdue letter is very simple. So you just click on overdues, and there's your basic overdue letter. So just like we went to catalog, we went to overdues, we went to overdue by classification, and then when we ran it, we just put in the classification and it ran the overdue. Creating a letter is just the same, or playing around with the letters just the same. So I'll go to overdues and overdue letter. And now I'm going to show you all the things you can do with the overdue letter and then save it as your own letter. So here we go, open. So it's saying class grade equal to, and I'll go here and I'll say class grade equal to year 12s. Okay, days before, so 0 days, so I can say anything overdue from today. If I go generate, okay, and if I have a look at the results, there's my results. Okay, so that's my overdue results. And you say, all right, so what's the letter going to look like? So what you do is you click on configure, okay, and we have a look at the template, and that's what your template looks like. So it's automatically going to put the site, it's automatically going to put the overdue date, the date notice for the letter, the classification, the homeroom, the patron, the first name, the surname, and first name. And then there's the paragraph above it, okay, just in there, it says, dear first name, or dear Jack, that's what will come up. The below items are currently overdue. Please renew or return these items. And then it'll appear a list, and then it'll come up with the salutation. So the first thing you want to do is you go, the below items are overdue. Now, the English is not right, or I don't like that. I'd like to add a bit more. So if you want to change what's in that section, really easy. Just put the cursor in here and then click the cog, which is the settings. When you click on the settings, there it is. Okay, now don't touch the highlighted area where first name, but you can add anything else you like. So you can say, instead of saying the below items are overdue, you can say the following items. The following items are overdue. Please renew or return these items at your earliest convenience. And I can go in here and I can add another paragraph, another sentence. I can say, don't be a naughty boy or girl and not bring them back to school, because you will not be able to borrow any more items. So you can add as much information as you like. Okay. Now, whenever you change anything in a template that's shown up on here, doesn't matter what it is, you've got to make sure that you click the Save Diskette up here and the Save button at the bottom. Okay, save up here and then save at the bottom, and that's how you would do that. Okay, then you can just exit out of here and your changes will get reflected in here. Okay, the below items are currently overdue. So I didn't save it, so that's why it's still the old term. Now, if you say, yours sincerely, library staff, I would like to put in there, please understand, if you do not return the above books, we will not be able to entertain you in the library. Your friendly librarian. So if you want to change what's on the bottom, just put the cursor in there, click the cog, okay, and there it is. So you can type whatever you like in here. And don't forget, if you change anything, you click the save button up there and the save button down here. And that's how you change the body of the email and you change the salutation of the email. Okay, really simple, really easy. Now the thing is, you can say, well, you know what? I'm going to send it exactly like all of that, but I don't want to send it to John Smith, who is my patron. I wanted to send it to John Smith's parents. So if you want to change this first name that says up here, okay, the first thing you've got to do is you got to say, but is the parent's name available for me to choose from? So before you go into there, you might want to choose the results data, because the results data will show you all the fields of information you've got. Now you've got the title, the barcode, the copy number, the replacement, the first name, the surname, the homeroom, the class grade, the email, the due date, the patron barcode, and the site name. Well, I'm sorry, you can't add the patron's parent's name to the system because you do not have it to select from. So that's why the result data button is very important. It shows you all the fields you can select from. However, the good news is you've got a plus button there. And all you do is you click on the plus and it says accession number. That's because it starts with A, it's the top of the list. So if you want to have a look at what other fields you can choose from, extend that and there it is. And you can go in here, okay, and you can see patron data, title data, copy data, and we want patron data, and we want patrons parent first name, and we want from here we will go add again, and we want also the parent surname. Now that you've got those items in there, if you go to back to your template, and you can go, so now I've got first name and I want to change the first name. So the first thing you do is you click on the cog and see how it says first name. What you do is you highlight everything of the first name. You have to be very careful to make sure you get the boxes as well. Okay, once you click that, then it says up here, you choose, I want the first name. Okay, sorry, not the first name. I want the parent name. So I go to parent first name. All right, and what that will do is that will now change the, oops, sorry, up here. Let me just highlight that. Okay, and then I can choose the parent's first name out of here, out of that list, and then that'll get added to your profile at the bottom. And that's how you can change what appears up here. You can change what appears up here, but you have to remember you can only select the fields that are in this dark area here, all the dark areas. You can only select them as long as they are in the results page here. Okay, if they do not appear here, you do not have the option to select it out of here. And you have to hit the save of the template, and you have to say at that save of the button there. Okay, now what you can do is you can do a preview to have a look at all the information up there. Okay, and I didn't select the parent's name, but if I selected the parent's name, they would have appeared up here. And if I save that report will now appear on the bottom over here for overdues and overdue letters and duplicate or duplicate one, whatever name you've given it. And if you want to run any of these letters, all you do is you just go open, okay, class grade equal to that, and you can say, I'm going to schedule this particular report to run on a regular frequency. So if you want to schedule that report to run, you just got to go, I'm going to email this, it's going to go out weekly, and it's going to go, don't put your specified email, it's just going to go to whatever email is in the system. So if you said parents' email address, it'll go to the parents' email address. If you said the patron's email, it'll go to the patron's email. And if you put your return email address there, if they want to communicate with you, they are going to hit return and type in their comments, and you'll get a response. If you don't put anything there, they will get an email from do not reply, and that's where they'll get it from. Okay, and then what you do is you choose the date, whether it's weekly, the date and the time that you want to run it on, and when you go schedule, that's exactly what it's going to schedule. So every week from now on at this particular time, or on Thursday, this report is going to run for you. If you want to delete the schedule and you've already got an existing schedule on there, you need to bring it up here and then remember to hit the disable button. And hitting that disable button will stop the schedule from running. Otherwise, it's going to run every time. Now, let's say you want to schedule this and you haven't tested it. So how do I go about testing the letters that I set up? If you want to test the letter, in the specified to put your email address and then go send now, or schedule it and then wait for the next time. But by send now, it's going to send that overdue letter to the email address here. You might look at it and say, no, I got to change the format. I got to put different wording. I got to put something in bold. I got to put another column. Then go back here and go send again. It'll send it to whatever email your address. Hopefully that's yours. And you can resend and resend as often as you like, so that you can check double check, verify, validate, talk to your colleagues, say, does this look okay? Does that look okay? Once you've done all of that, then you can turn around and remove your email address and go schedule. Okay, don't leave your email address there and go schedule, because you don't want to keep getting the same emails. So that's how you would set up your reports for overdue letters. Okay, and as I said when we first started, okay, before you go into overdue letters, my recommendation, you might want to start with just doing a simple catalog report, taking any one of these, costs by location, copies by location, or whatever, and tailoring it for you, and bearing in mind that when you save the tailored report, it'll appear here. You go to catalog, it'll appear here. So play around with a catalog record, then play around with the overdue reports before you get into the overdues, because the overdue reports give you the ability to do just so much and change so much information. So click on the configure, okay, click on the template, and then have a look at all the things that you can do in this report before you auto-generate it. So my recommendation is try it and experiment, and you cannot stuff up the existing system. So we hope you have a great time playing around with our reports. Remember, it's powerful, it's easy, and you can't get it wrong. Easy to use. Thank you very much for spending this time on reports. We'll be doing a lot more YouTube live events on specific areas of reports. Thank you.